Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. We are here tonight to, of course, talk about the penultimate episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5, called Truth. There was a lot of truth bombs in this episode.
A lot of truth being dropped.
Yeah, a lot of truth being dropped, but I want to first, because today is Monday, the 19th, and they dropped the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings trailer.
Yes.
Directed by Destin Daniel Creighton, or I think that's the guy's name. He did Short Term 12 and Just Mercy. Yeah. So a couple like dramas, and he's jumping in feet first to the MCU. Which I love. I like it. I like it when they get a prestige director.
Oh, that's where I've heard his name. I was like, I know I've heard this guy's name.
Yeah.
I think this is his. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think this is his first directed film without Brie Larson, because all three of his films have Brie Larson in them.
You say that.
Yeah, in the post-credit scene, Captain Marvel shows up and
right. Yeah. Exactly. So, what are you talking about?
Just ignore it.
Okay, I don't know what Rhett's talking about.
Don't look at the comments.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll do my best. But yeah, I wanted to at least talk about that trailer for a minute because it was actually pretty cool. I mean, it was
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. Is that how we should say it?
Shang-Chi.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Well, I saw somebody on Twitter say Song-Chi, like you say it more like song, S-O-N-G. But I'm like, I have no idea. But it looks certainly more like an origin story, obviously.
Yes.
And it was a teaser. You know, it wasn't. You know, they're calling it a teaser. It wasn't the full trailer. But man, the martial arts look fantastic, which you would expect.
Yeah.
You know, from something like this. And you know, I don't know if they touched on it, and I don't know how much we want to spoil necessarily. I mean, we obviously know some things. You know, the guy in the mask is, I'm guessing, his father.
Mask?
Yeah, the white mask.
Well,
interesting.
I thought the guy with the long hair was his father.
Okay.
Tony Leung,
one of his.
He's got the 10 rings.
Tony Leung is his father. He plays Winwu.
Oh, Tony Leung is awesome.
Yes, he's a big deal in China.
Dude, he was in Infernal Affairs, which is fantastic.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Tony Leung was in Infernal Affairs, which is, you know, based upon, or that they, you know, Scorsese adapted that.
He was in Chungking Express, which is a movie I watched. Which is actually pretty good, but it will make you get California Dreaming stuck in your head if you watch it. Play that like 20 million times in the movie.
California Dreaming.
So yeah, and in all honesty, like I hadn't been paying really close attention to the cast. I had no idea Awkwafina was in it.
I didn't either.
That was kind of a nice surprise for me because I'm sure I knew that subconsciously, like. At some point I read it, but
they announced the cast like over a year ago, so
exactly
we all forgot.
Did the trailer shift and we were watching the Speed trailer? Like I was like,
right, it was on a bus.
What happened to
while.
Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock? All of a sudden we're in a bus death race.
You know, from an MCU standpoint, I mean, this isn't obviously the first time that we've heard of the 10 Rings. I mean, we heard that back in
Realms.
Well, no, we heard the 10 Rings mentioned in one of the Iron Man films.
Yeah, well, the first one, he's got the flag behind him. The 10 Rings are holding him hostage at the beginning of the movie. And then in Iron Man 3, it's brought back up because they bring a fake Mandarin in.
The Mandarin.
Trevor Slattery.
Trevor Slattery.
And off screen, we see in a Marvel one-shot, which is a thing they used to do, Trevor Slattery gets broken out of jail by the actual Mandarin, who I guess is coming to punish him or kill him. I don't know. We're never really resolved on that.
I'm hoping we get an end credit scene with Ben.
But we do think the real Mandarin's going to show up, right? Isn't that one of the rumors?
That's Tony Leung is. Pretty sure.
One of the things that actually Garrison told me that I wasn't quite aware of, just because I didn't read the comics, is that they're kind of changing the origin story a little bit. So, you know, the Mandarin was not originally in the comics Shang-Chi's father.
No.
It was a different character altogether.
Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu, right?
Yeah, which is a public domain character. Yes, that was his father. Yeah.
Fu Manchu.
Yeah, the evil Fu Manchu was his father, and now they make it the evil Mandarin is his father. It kind of lines up
Melissa's
decently
in.
well.
Hey, Melissa.
And you get to avoid the stereotypes, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, Melissa, and Melissa today flashed on Twitter that she bought a T-shirt and a mug from the Deucecast. So thank you so much.
What?
I'm jealous.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super fan Melissa. Go.
I've only got the T-shirt. I don't even have the mug.
We have a mug.
Yeah,
Michael, you've been holding out on us.
Hey, it's on that website.
We've been serving you for 10 years. Don't we get something like a
right?
a pin to put on our shirt?
I need to get everybody commemorative mugs, I guess. I don't know. So anything jump out at you in the trailer, Garrison?
Yeah, I liked the fighting scenes. They kind of reminded me of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which was mentioned in the RetroZap Discord page, the MCU Discord page on there.
Yeah.
I very much agree with that. I saw some other people on Twitter trying to compare it to Jackie Chan, but then that made me think that person has never seen a Jackie Chan movie in his life.
I didn't really think
Jackie Chan at all.
No, it very much looked like the way they moved was very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The way
it's all wire work. I mean, it's much more wire work oriented than Jackie Chan.
It makes me wonder how much of the fighting is going to be wire work without CGI, because they have 7 months of post production to work on Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
and a lot of the MCU films are actually getting more than that right now. Mm-hmm. This is the shortest amount of time that any of the films are going to have. We did see a little peek at a CGI battle that's probably going to be towards the end.
Yeah.
I do wonder how much. I wonder if they're going to have this shorter period of time for post-production because they don't have as many effects to do and they're just wiping out wires for certain things.
Well, now, don't they have to have like a big CGI battle? Because isn't the Mandarin a sorcerer, basically?
He's got the 10 rings. I'm not as up to.
I don't really know.
He got the 10 rings from the alien dragon who crashed. I think it was Fing Fang Foom or something. Maybe. Yeah, we're just getting too comic convoluted at that point.
Right.
I'm not really. I don't know the lore of Shang-Chi at all. I mean,
an excellent person to ask. Dad read every single Shang-Chi comic last year, and he said the movie looks nothing like any of the comics.
Well, I mean,
he looks like Bruce Lee in the comics. Like he's always with his shirt off and the thing around his head. And literally, it looks like they've just copied a Bruce Lee picture.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what the intention was back in the day.
I think that's
the 70s. Yeah,
I think that's 100% what the intention was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the only time that I really had any connection with the Mandarin at all was in that old Iron Man cartoon from the 90s.
94.
Yeah, because the Mandarin was the big bad, basically.
And he was green.
And he was green, exactly. So that's why I thought maybe he was a sorcerer or something like in his origin. But yeah, I guess the 10 rings do give him some type of special powers.
I don't know 100%, but they almost remind me of Infinity Gems, Infinity Stones kind of things. That they give him different powers.
Maybe it's going to be the new MacGuffin.
Yeah, might be.
Could be.
Maybe he's the big bad, although we'll see.
Nah.
No, I hope not.
That's Kang.
Yes, dude, I'm all in for Kang. I love that. So cool. Yeah, but the trailer's great. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I mean, it's on YouTube, obviously. And it's worth watching. It's a good teaser. And so I'm sure we'll get several more trailers before it comes out in September.
Yep, and not just for that, but also this coming Sunday, the Eternals director is up for obviously some awards.
Director, yep.
I know some people who really think that Marvel will try to capitalize that and release a trailer if she does, if she wins. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
But I've heard that the Chinese don't, apparently she's from a very wealthy family in China, and they're not real happy that she left the country to go make American movies. This is something I just heard on John Campia.
Interesting.
Talking.
So China, that's all I got to say.
So I don't know how much but I don't think they'll reject the Eternals because of that. I mean, I would hope not.
No.
Apparently, Raya's not a big hit in China right now either. It's not making the box office they thought it would.
It probably wouldn't be. But who cares? I don't care about China.
See, China's like us. They like big lizards and big monkeys fighting.
Yes, exactly. That's all they care about. No, that's exactly right.
Is that China or Japan? I'm not sure.
Japan. It's not even releasing in Japan until May.
The kaiju, baby.
Really?
What? Really?
Why would you not release Godzilla at the same time in Japan? Come on.
That is weird. I mean, unless they're just trying to capitalize more on the box office there. Like May is a bigger box office month in Japan, maybe.
Yeah,
which
maybe.
it is in most places. But I mean,
but they do school differently there, and they do vacations very differently there. So I don't know.
Now, Rhett says that Shang-Chi looks like Quick Kick from G.I. Joe. Is that in the comments?
Yeah, I can't go deep on G.I. Joe. I don't know. I don't know all the characters and everything. That's about the ancillary characters from the movie and the animated movie and the cartoon. Like I can't go. I don't even know who Quick Kick is.
If you look up a picture of Quick Kick, I mean,
this probably looks like Shang-Chi.
It
probably looks like Bruce Lee.
I was about to say they're probably trying to base him off of Bruce Lee too. So
yeah, probably.
Which hey guys, we watched another show.
Yeah, let's
dive
in.
So episode 5, obviously, penultimate episode. It's generally the episode. A lot of people will say in most series that the penultimate episode is generally the better episode than the finale. But I liked this episode quite a bit. But I thought that it did have, and Earl's sort of joking about it with his name. It did have a lot of montages. It had the working on the boat montage, the training montage. There was even like one other kind of montage type thing. I mean, and so it's just I liked the character development, but it felt like that's something they could have done earlier in the season than wait till episode 5. We're having episode 6 is the finale. But it's fine. I get it. I like Bucky and Sam enough that it didn't bother me too much. But it seemed weird because it was almost like you've got Torres sort of at the beginning of the episode saying, "All right, just lay low. I'll let you know if something happens with the Flag Smashers."
They got benched, as Sam said.
Yeah,
Sam said they got benched.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. So that was like kind of one thread of the plot. Go ahead.
Didn't you feel like they wasn't there a threat that Carly made to Sarah?
Yes.
And that's why I thought Sam was going to go back to Louisiana to protect his sister.
Too.
Yeah.
But they just kind of let that thread drop. Like she's in New York now. So
yeah, they let that thread drop. Obviously something like
but who knows?
There's a bigger fish to fry in New York, apparently. I mean, so she wants to make a bigger impact.
The GRC, what are they called?
What now? Yeah,
the GRC's meeting there.
Yeah. I mean, she wants to make a bigger threat. Yeah, I mean, and this is just like Craig said. I mean, it kind of exactly.
Like I assumed from the trailers, that's why he was going to be back to Louisiana, but
it's more because Torres just told him to lay low, so he went back to Louisiana to hang out with his sister, basically.
Not to 100% excuse it, but I feel like with WandaVision and with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think these shows have been impacted by the pandemic a bit to the point that there are certain plot lines where I have just gone, I really think that they couldn't just get to that because of certain restrictions and the amount of people they had on set. We know that at the end of WandaVision, Ralph was supposed to have a bigger role than he had.
Yeah.
And
right.
Now we've got some other plot lines in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that haven't panned out maybe as much as it seemed like they were. So
that's fair.
So, Rhett, the answer to this is always they're busy with something more important. That's the answer.
He's talking to Dormammu.
In every single circumstance, it doesn't matter what the character you at. Like, why isn't Spider-Man doing this? And why isn't it's because they're busy with something more important.
Yeah,
Dormammu, I'm back to bargain.
Yeah, exactly.
And so when you're going to introduce all these heroes in New York, it's going to be like Fantastic Four. Why is Spider-Man not in Fantastic Four in the future? Although it's being directed by John Watts, so maybe he will be in it. So
exactly.
Whoa, you're going into Fantastic Four territory. Whoa.
Wow, just kind of make an example.
Yeah, just an example.
Can I say something about penultimate episodes?
Yes.
It's only since Game of Thrones that we expect, just because they set a trend of like
Well,
the 9th episode was the best one.
Yeah.
That's not really a traditional thing for every TV series. So I think this was a pretty good episode in that it set all the players and all the pieces in place.
Right.
So you've got Baltrock up in New York. You've got her. You've got them going. They're going to go. Bucky's going to show up.
Yep.
I guess, unless they all come to Louisiana, but I think they're all going to.
No. They're all going to end up in New York. I mean, no, you don't end up in Louisiana.
And I think the show is pretty much insinuating that Sharon is at least involved with the power broker in some way.
There's something going on with her.
I'm like almost convinced she is the power broker.
I need more context on that, and I really will not like if that's a thing that's just kind of like, she's the power broker, blah, done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's one of those things that they might feel as if they were tricking the audience or it'll shock the audience that Sharon Carter's the power broker.
Well, I heard a very interesting theory just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
That because they were saying, well, why is Sharon sending Baltrock to help Carly? Because wasn't she threatening to kill Carly? But some people think it's a double cross, that really Baltrock's going to turn and try to kill Carly. I don't know if that's true. Baltrock,
well, I mean,
am I saying it right?
Baltrock. So Baltrock's a gun for hire. So it's not as if it would be a loyalty thing. It would just be she paid him a lot of money to double cross. So I could buy that. I mean, I don't buy that Baltrock's a bad guy. He's just a businessman who takes money for jobs. And if this current job is to make Carly think that he's going to help her out and then double cross her, that's the job, and he's just doing his job.
Yeah, but the other argument is that why would Sharon help Carly if she's like against her now? But I don't know. Yeah. It's confusing.
No, it could go both ways, really. I mean, if they could easily say Sharon's the power broker, that's why she sent Baltrock to Carly to help, or it's a double cross. She sent Baltrock to Carly to double cross.
But don't you still want to know why she's the power broker? I mean, you could say, okay, she was kicked out of her country.
She was jilted.
But like, I need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I mean,
Ryfin needs more.
The whole thing with this series has been a lot of people upset with the way things went down.
Yeah. With the snap and the blip.
Yeah, the snap and the blip.
It is an overstuffed 6 episodes, though. I mean, there's a lot they're trying to.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? You've got the Isaiah Bradley thing. You've got,
I was surprised he even came back up. I really thought he was just going to be in that one scene in episode 2. And
that scene was powerful.
It's a powerful scene.
Yeah, it was. And I liked the fact, even if it was just for a moment, that Elijah Bradley was in the episode as well, because that character is going to be back. I mean, that actor,
if they do Young Avengers, for sure.
Yeah, that character will be back for sure. Something's going to happen with Isaiah that forces Elijah's hand to become an Avenger or something. I bet.
Talk is Mephisto. We know that.
Yeah, exactly. And man, I love that we're getting 2 different sides of things, really, with Isaiah and everything that he's gone through. You can totally understand why he feels the way he does. And it's sort of making Sam conflicted, because, Sam obviously has the feeling that, now more than ever, maybe it's the time to take on the Shield.
Yes.
And he's being told, from an older gentleman that went through crap and was treated like crap, that that's not what he needs to do, and he shouldn't do it. And so
he did the same thing as Captain America. Captain America disobeyed orders and went in and.
Yep. Exactly.
He was touted as a hero. Isaiah was thrown in jail.
Yeah, and and Sam was still even trying to bring him back into the fold, saying, "Look, we can change your history here. We can bring you out into the open." And Isaiah's like, "Look, I don't exist anymore. I mean, the government has made it so I do not exist anymore." And that's kind of like what he wants in a way. I mean, he doesn't want to be brought in. So I like that. I mean, it's not necessarily what Sam wanted to hear, but maybe he needed to hear it to to help him make his decision later on down the road in the same episode.
Yeah, and Bucky is seemingly understanding about the situation as much as possible.
Yeah,
But Sam is going to take up the shield at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he will persevere.
I think there's an interesting progression of like he was betrayed by the shield, basically, Isaiah. Sam is like, let's use the shield for good. And then you see the way his children respond.
Oh, yeah.
To a different generation of African Americans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who are touching it, saying, we want to see this.
They're in awe of it.
Basically. We want to see that we still believe in the heroic power of the shield. So I think it's interesting to see how you have a couple of generations sort of working through this.
And I don't want to totally call my shot here because I don't know for sure if this is going to happen. But last week, I said that I don't think Sam's going to have the wings. And he left him back with Torres. He told Torres he didn't want him. So
I think they're going to be in the suit.
Well, that's because Torres...
The Wakandan suit.
I don't know. I don't want to totally call my shot here, but I think Torres uses the wings. I think Torres becomes Falcon. I don't know. Okay, fine.
Let me just say this, Michael. In the comics,
new wings in the box. Fine. Okay,
yeah, I agree with Rhett.
Yes.
In the comics, when he did become the Captain America
character,
he did have both wings and the shield. So
this isn't the comics. No.
Well, that's fair. Touché.
He's going to have the wings.
But it does. I will say it certainly makes sense for him to have the wings because he needs something to one up people with superpowers. I mean, and you know, his lacking of super soldier serum. I mean, he needs that basically.
By the way, the stunt actors did a fantastic job with all those flips, with not having their faces visible the entire time while they were doing that.
Well, there's one time I was like, okay, that's not.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, I feel for anybody that has to try and catch the right angle when they're filming those type of scenes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, exactly. You could tell in a couple of those for sure.
And I'll say this too: the fight scene at the beginning, the way that Sam used his wings was really cool.
Yeah,
like that was a really great scene with.
Yeah.
We haven't even gone into the Captain Walker.
That's a good segue. We can actually go into John Walker now and kind of like where he is. That opening sequence, man, that was one of the best fight sequences ever in the MCU. I thought it was awesome.
It was good.
You could tell that Bucky was trying to hold himself back because he wasn't trying to kill John.
Right.
But he snapped his arm, but there's a difference there. He was getting the shield off.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do at some point to stop him. But yeah, John Walker is certainly in a really bad place.
Mentally especially,
and his government has basically turned on him. The government that he gave so much to, through his military career has completely turned on him. They went through a trial process and they say dishonorably discharged, or they used a different term. It was weird. It wasn't like a.
No, I thought they were gonna not do that because of the medals and stuff.
Oh, okay. So they weren't
gonna give him any more salary, right, or something. What was that?
I was like, man, they're just like cutting this guy off completely.
He had a good scene there too. Wyatt Russell's doing a good job.
Yeah, I thought Wyatt Russell was really good in this episode. Like, I'm glad that, because it took me a while to get into the idea of him being, U.S. agent or Captain America or whatever. And I wonder if that's kind of like on purpose. You're not supposed to really buy into it much.
Oh yeah.
Because he just, in all honesty, looked kind of goofy at first. And
right.
That's right, Fetmatic. It was no pension.
Well,
no pension. That's it.
They want you to see him as goofy. That's what they were trying to do in the first appearance.
Yep. Yeah, and Craig's right here. He sounded a lot like his dad in a couple of the scenes.
When he was in the courtrum scene, he did sound like Kurt Russell. That was cool.
Yeah, I love it. I liked it. I thought it was awesome. And his wife's standing right there by his side. You got to wonder, like, if they're going to continue to have her as a character and if she's going to be assisting him in any way. in what we see in the mid-credit scene, which does not bode well for anybody. That mid-credit scene. Well, I don't want to necessarily.
You mean the end credit scene?
Well, it was technically mid-credit.
Oh, that's right, because then they do the.
Then they do that. Yeah, it's technically considered mid-credit, but that's just semantics.
That's fair.
So a lot of the kind of like good character development. Don't get me wrong. I was happy with the character development, but a lot of the boat stuff and a lot of the stuff in the New Orleans was kind of a little bit boring. There was some good conversation. I mean, the whole Bucky flirting with Sarah and Sam being kind of annoyed with that.
Yeah, that was funny.
There was. I mean,
yeah, the boat thing is. I don't know. It's fine. Hey, but we get Zemo. We get a Zemo moment.
Yes.
Let's not forget about the Zemo.
Go talk about it.
Well, so Zemo is at the memorial in Sokovia.
Yep.
Apparently just standing there waiting for Bucky. And
and Bucky was later than he thought.
Yeah.
You're late. and so he tells him the only way to take care of Carly is to take her out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which has been his thing the whole time.
Yes.
Right. He doesn't feel as
he hasn't really progressed.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like anybody that's completely radicalized like the way she is at this point has any way of redemption, basically.
Although he does admit to Bucky that he doesn't want to kill Bucky. So I guess he has kind of progressed in a way.
Yeah.
And I did like that Zemo slashed out his name in Bucky's book.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but also it was a nice touch from Zemo.
Oh, yeah. No,
do you think Zemo was thinking he was going to get, like, okay, this is it. Bucky's going to kill me? And, like, he was thinking...
There's always a chance.
I'm sure it crossed his mind. He did have a gun pointed at his head for a minute. I mean, so I'm sure it crossed his mind. But I don't necessarily think he's going into the best situation with the Dora Milaje coming to take him.
They're taking him to the raft?
Why wouldn't they take him to Wakanda and prosecute him?
Yeah, what's the raft?
The raft is the underwater facility built by Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
It's
where after Civil War, it's where a lot of the Avengers were.
Oh.
So that's the raft.
Which means Zemo goes straight into Thunderbolt's lap, which, by the way, easy setup for Thunderbolts if you want to do that.
Yeah, I think they're going to do the Thunderbolts.
Exactly.
But why do the Wakandans take him there? That's interesting to me. Yeah. Would feel like they would want to personally charge him.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, maybe they're trying
to keep relations with the U.S. and so they're returning him back to U.S. jail, or even though he was in German jail. So yeah, that's really weird.
Well, I mean, I looked ahead, and it doesn't, of course, have the full cast for episode 6, but there's a lot of German security guard guys in episode 6. So we're going back to Germany in episode 6 a little bit, is what I would guess. So maybe,
dude, no spoilers, man.
It's on IMDb.
Do you think we're going to get a 2-hour finale?
No.
Really?
I don't even think 90 minutes.
Yeah, Feige always said that it was going to be 6 hours long, right? I mean, he didn't really.
Yeah.
So,
actually, he said about Falcon and Winter Soldier, he said 6 to 8. But I don't know. I feel like most of the episodes are going to be about 45 to 60 minutes.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, your source did not give us the runtime, so we don't know the runtime. We usually have the runtime by now.
Mike has a good point that in Civil War, T'Challa gave him over to the Germans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so maybe that's the whole.
You think about it.
Again, that's them keeping relations with the Germans, but they took him to the raft.
Yeah, which has nothing to do with the.
Is that a United Nations prison? I don't know.
Now it's the GRC, babe. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it could be the GRC.
And Thunderbolt Ross is.
Dude, that'd be awesome if William Hurt made a cameo in the season finale. I would love that.
Yeah,
I need a lot of cameos in the season finale.
I don't think you're going to get a lot.
Speaking of, before we jump,
Rhett makes a good point here. It's like a black site type situation. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, out of prying eyes type of deal. as far as the raft is concerned. So that that makes a lot of sense. I hate to say that, but Rhett's making some sense there.
He's making sense tonight. What do we think about the Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
So,
Allegra, whatever.
There's a lot. Yeah, it's
Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Yeah, exactly. Get
Who
it right,
is Garrison?
Huh?
Who is she in the comics?
Well,
She is Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine in the comics. A lot of people have been referring to her as Madam
Hydra.
She's Madam Hydra,
but that's a very small part of her comic tree. She's actually a love interest for Nick Fury in the comics, and she's a triple agent for when she infiltrates Hydra as Madam Hydra in the comics.
So she's really working for the Mandarin.
She's working for somebody. Is it the Mandarin?
I don't know.
I don't
make
know.
Awesome.
I don't remember.
She's working for Mephisto.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you I watched this weekend, coincidentally, the Nick Fury TV movie from 1998 starring David Hasselhoff. And in that movie, his love interest is Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
I have to go watch this movie now.
And it is awful.
It's awful.
Oh man, I bet it's terrible.
It's not good.
So who plays? So who's the villain in that?
It is Baron Wolfgang von Strucker's children.
Oh, it's a Von Strucker. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Von Strucker's children, and they're trying to bring Von Strucker back to life, and he gets resurrected at the end because, of course, there's going to be more, except there isn't.
Wow, sounds like the Rise of Skywalker.
I'm interested. I gotta look up this cast.
And Lisa Arena or something plays Contessa Valentina Allegra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she's
She's all
right.
In the 90s, she was a bit of all right. Yeah.
It makes me feel like she got in touch with John Walker. It makes me feel like maybe she'll be involved with some sort of team in the future with him on it. Maybe it's Thunderbolts. I'm wondering if maybe she doesn't sign up. Well, we already know she's going to be in there's already hints that she's going to be in some future properties pretty soon. The Vanity Fair mentioned that she was supposed to make her debut in Black Widow. So I'm assuming she's still in the film. I would not be surprised if she becomes a love interest for Nick Fury and maybe turns on him at some point or something like that. But
any chance she's the power broker?
Maybe.
There is nobody in this movie of note.
It's David Hasselhoff, baby.
There's Hasselhoff.
Well, besides Hasselhoff, I guess. I mean, there's a guy, Ron Canada, who if you watched, he was in some popular TV show back in the day. I mean, he's a guy if you look at him, you'll be like, oh, it's that guy. I feel like he's been in Star Trek before. He just looks like a dude that was in Star Trek. But yeah, I mean, this movie has nobody of note besides Hasselhoff, of course. I mean, I don't want to disparage Hasselhoff at all.
It's Hasselhoff coming off of Baywatch,
right? Oh,
so it's Hasselhoff at his Hasselhoff.
Yeah, no, you're right. 1998 is the top of the game for David Hasselhoff. He never, I mean, unless you're in Germany, and he's still at the top of his game. But I mean,
was this a Corman film? I feel like this was
this wasn't the Corman one.
That was Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
this was some TV movie. I mean, I don't even think
there are life model decoys in the film, which is very comic accurate to Nick Fury. Nick Fury constantly used those in the comiks. So
yeah, it's life model decoys was a big deal in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I really hope that does not cross over into the MCU at all, because that's
part of the comics.
Oh, I know, because it's an easy trope. It's it wasn't really him. It was his life model decoy, so he's still alive.
He went to Tahiti.
He went to Tahiti for a while, so he's still alive. I mean, no, I really hope that they don't do that. But no, I mean, I was excited. You know, whenever you hear oh, it's going to be this huge actor.
They said award-winning actress, and that's true.
And it is. She is. She's an award-winning actress.
Or you think it's somebody bigger, Michael?
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, and then Rhett in our chat's oh, I heard Al Pacino was on set. So you automatically, you're thinking some massive actor.
That's the last episode.
and I shouldn't. I should have known better that it wouldn't have been anybody. And I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I'm not disparaging her at all, but
Yeah,
in my mind, I was thinking somebody bigger.
I love her audition, and when I saw her, I just started kind of laughing because I was like, oh no, people made a really big deal out of that, and there are gonna be some people who are disappointed. But
well, I mean, there's going to be there's going to be Gen Z people that could give a rip about Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I mean, and
I grew up being shown Seinfeld as a child, so
well, you've got a dad that knows good TV and good movies.
He knows how to indoctrinate you well.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of Gen Z could give two rips about Seinfeld. I mean, that's not their bag. And so, but I like her. I've always liked her. I liked her the first time I saw her in Christmas Vacation when she was like the stuck-up neighbor. I mean, I thought she was hilarious in that.
So she's Samuel Jackson's love interest
in the comics.
Comics. Well, but maybe.
Maybe she'll be in Secret Invasion.
Or maybe she's a Skrull. We don't know.
Which Olivia Colman is in talks to join Secret Invasion.
Really?
So,
yeah.
I think she's going to be playing the bad Skrull. That's my opinion.
Here's one thing that I'm afraid of that with the Skrulls. The Skrulls are almost becoming like the life model decoy of the MCU.
It's stupid.
Where they're everybody's a Skrull. I mean, and it's
if someone does something out of character years later, they can be like, "Well, that person was really a Skrull in those 2 years."
Yeah,
because they do that kind of crap in comics.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fun. I mean, if it's a comic book thing, you just got to get used to it. But I mean, I hope they don't lean on it too much. And they certainly could in Secret Invasion. But I mean, I just hope that. And that's kind of the whole point of Secret Invasion, but I hope they don't lean on that whole trope too much because I don't know. So I thought Ben Mendelsohn was in that series as well.
Yes, he is. He is.
Oh,
even though I guess they
he's the good Skrull.
Yeah, he is. He's the good Skrull.
He's the good Skrull. Yeah, exactly. I feel sorry for Red. He's the only one in the chat tonight. He's all
where'd everybody go?
Roth had a prior engagement, so he. It's funny, like they can't be in the chat at the same time anymore. Like Rhett and Roth, bosom buddies, can't be in the same chat anymore. But yeah, I mean,
are we forgetting something? Let's see.
No, I just want to say one more thing about that character, Contessa. I think she's going to be a big deal on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
So I think that what they're going to have to do with these Disney Plus shows is, yes, everything's interconnected, but they're going to have a Disney Plus villain, like a main Disney Plus villain, and then an MCU villain. I mean, where it's, in the films, this is your big villain in the films, like we mentioned, Kang or whatever. And then Disney Plus is going to have a smaller type Avengers thing. So I don't think that it's all
Dark Avengers.
Yeah. I
have heard that theory too, that she's going to set up the Dark Avengers.
There was a script has been penned for Dark Avengers. That's been around for a while.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd have to refine it and stuff like that. But whether it's a movie or a TV show, they can adapt it into really any medium they want to now. So, and do they do Dark Avengers? Do they do Thunderbolts?
Do they do West Coast Avengers?
They could.
Young Avengers,
British Avengers.
And does Dark Avengers introduce us to Norman Osborn? And do they have to get in with Sony to get the rights to bring in Norman Osborn?
I don't think Disney's going to ever play that game. I don't think Disney's ever going to use a character from the Spideyverse and beg. Whatever, dude. Whatever,
Armin, yes.
Fine, Red. I'll put your little funny little quip in the chat. Whatever, dude.
I don't think we're making predictions. I think we're just speaking. I don't know.
I'm not trying to make. I'm just saying. I'm
following all of it.
I don't think we're going to see like a Miss Marvel show up in an MCU movie. I just don't see that character, or a She-Hulk showing up in an MCU.
She's confirmed for Captain Marvel too, but
no, she's not. Stop crapping on my points. No.
It'll just be a cameo, right?
Yeah, I just don't imagine some of these characters that are in these Disney Plus shows mattering to the MCU as much as everybody would want them to. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
I think they will to an extent.
Planet Hulk. We'll have a.
Ooh, there you go.
Hulk
Yeah, but they can't do just a Hulk movie though. They still don't
because of Sony or Universal.
Universal.
I think Universal would absolutely let them do another Hulk movie. I think the problem is they don't. I just don't think they see a market there.
Right.
I don't know. You know. No.
Now, if it was a Planet Hulk movie and it took them having to do a deal with Universal to do a Planet Hulk movie, maybe that could work. But
yeah.
Well, and isn't Mark Ruffalo going to be in She-Hulk, but not necessarily as the Hulk?
No, I don't know about
he's just going to be Banner?
I think he'll probably still be Professor Hulk.
Oh, that's right.
I don't even him.
You. Yeah.
That's a good point.
I thought he was going to try and take himself out of that, though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't see that Professor Hulk thing sticking. I don't.
I mean, look, it's never sticked in the comics.
Yeah.
Look, Hulk was introduced. He was like a werewolf. He transformed at midnight or whatever. He transformed at night into the Hulk.
I think they're bringing back Lou Ferrigno. CBS is going to pick it up.
Hey, I'm all for Lou Ferrigno.
Well, and She-Hulk's going to be a trial comedy series. So,
yeah.
Well, it's in the style of Night Court. That'd be great. But
yeah.
Oh no! Is it going to be comedy?
Let's see what.
Yeah,
what
it will be.
Never going to get a Planet Hulk. Missed a chance for World Breaker Hulk with the gamma radiation from his snap. Oh, okay. See, Red actually knows all this stuff. I mean, he's really the one that should be.
I don't even know what World Breaker Hulk means.
Yeah, I don't know what World Breaker Hulk is.
There's a Red Hulk too, right? But
yeah, but isn't that Ross?
Red Hulk? Yeah.
Ross?
Yeah. No, I don't.
He's right. Ragnarok was Planet Hulk. Okay.
Basically. Fair. I mean,
yeah.
In so many, it wasn't totally Planet Hulk. It was just It was just sort of. I mean, it was giving the audience what they wanted a little bit, but not.
Isn't there a Planet Hulk in the Old Man Logan series too?
See, now we're getting into stuff.
Well, that's a territory. There's a Hulk territory. I just read the Old Man Logan.
Yeah, there's a territory.
Which is pretty amazing. If they did that series, wow.
Yeah.
That's some crazy stuff in that comic.
Well, that's kind of what they adapted in Logan, but sort of.
Yeah.
Hulk breaks worlds. Easy.
That's right. Exactly. He does.
Easy truths.
So yeah, I think we kind of covered everything then. I'm trying to think through anything else that was
the Carly Morgenthau. So I'm still not buying this thing that there's people all over she just like, and all these people turn, and I'm like, why are we following this teenage girl? I just don't understand, guys. Like,
no, I get it. The flag smashers have been the weakest point.
They have the most. They have the most potential, but they've been the weakest written.
Right. Yeah, I'm not getting it.
And I think that what's going to end up happening is the big bad guy is going to be this power broker. But it has felt, and I know that that's been the frustration for a lot of people, that it's felt like there hasn't been a main villain to this series, really.
Yeah.
Because you've got them teaming up with Zemo, and that's just, he's not really the villain in the series. You've got, the Flag Smashers, who are kind of, it seems like that Sam and Bucky can handle them just fine. And so it's just been weird. And now what I think, obviously let's talk about that mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
We're not done with John Walker. Maybe John Walker is going to end up being the big bad guy.
Very reminiscent of Iron Man, by the way. The striking of the hammer, I think was kind of supposed to allude to that sort of.
But I mean, his little hammer, his little shield's going to get all crumpled up.
I want to know.
I'm waiting to get that thing just beat to crap by.
I want to know what material that's made out of, because it's not vibranium.
It's not vibranium. It's just it's going to get.
There were some people posting that it was adamantium, but I'm like,
no,
you can't.
Where would he have gotten adamantium?
Yeah.
No, they were like, this will lead to Wolverine. So. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that he's going to get himself in a bad situation in this finale, which I really wish we knew the runtime. I'm sure it's going to be at least an hour, if not more.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'll be around an hour. It'll be 55 minutes to an hour plus. Yeah.
Yeah, like Rhett said, he's using parts in his garage. It's not going to hold up.
I'm going to love seeing that thing beat to crap. But
his RC car collection. But yeah, I mean, I love mid-credit scenes. I love end-credit scenes. So I was glad that they gave us sort of a tag like that. I thought that was cool because
they're putting all the pieces in place.
Yeah, they're putting all the pieces in place for a really good finale. I love Earl. I love your idea that perhaps Baltrock is a double agent. I would love that, or not even a double agent. Just Sharon hired him to infiltrate the Flag Smashers type
to
thing.
Look like he's helping them, but
to look like he's helping them, but then he actually hurts them, and then So
do we really think Sharon's going to be the power broker? I just feel like that's too.
I feel like that's what they're doing. I don't like it.
Really, it just feels too telegraphed to me. Like it's too.
Yeah.
Like they're leading us to think that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that it's an hour. I know it's crazy. It's an out there prediction.
Well, when the showrunners tell you that all the episodes are around 45 to 55 minutes, I think it's an easy thing to say.
Yeah,
it'll be close to an hour.
Close to an hour, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's my whole thing with the Sharon Carter thing. They really want the audience to think that she's got something to do with the power broker.
Yeah.
So it just means that maybe it's not going to happen. I mean, and maybe
I don't know. It just seems.
It's Al Pacino.
It's Al Pacino. I'm ready for it.
Hooah! Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh man. Well, I think that's all we've got. I mean, and then we'll talk about next week. We'll sort of talk about how we're going to handle.
We got one more thing, Michael.
Oh, go ahead.
So how can you? I'm trying to think. So you throw this high-powered shield. It bounces off.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to not break your fingers as this thing slides back on your arm.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen? Like
he's that good.
My fingers would just be totally broken every time because you've got to,
dude.
Because that thing's curved, so you've got to make sure it slides on your arm. There's something challenging with that to me, but anyway.
Yep.
Dude, look, do not.
They're superheroes. I know.
And you can never disparage the training montage. The training montage is all you need to see as a viewer. If you see somebody training for something,
you know they're going to be expert at it.
You know they're ready. They're going to be ready.
He was ready.
Didn't he start out like catching it like crazy, and then towards the end he was dropping it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have had like Bucky catching it and him dropping it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And at the end he was catching it.
That was showing us that, you know, when Bucky was around, he was able to do it pretty easily because they were just sort of tossing it like a frisbee almost back and forth to each other, bouncing it off the tree and doing and slowing it down a little bit. But when it was him by himself and Bucky wasn't there, he was having a harder time. So maybe that's kind of like what they were.
And he was also doing a flip and trying to catch it.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Yeah. It wasn't a stunt double.
I could send Rhett on an Easter egg hunt if he wants to find it. There's a clip of Carly in the New York area when they're in that park, when she whistles at everyone, where she's crouched down and her nose is CGI'd out because they messed up the CG on a sign in the background and it's protruding over her face in the shot in a frame. So someone sent it to me. I'll have to send it to you guys.
That's horrific. Oh my gosh. I don't like
CGI'd out her nose.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the freckles were throwing them off.
Yeah,
the freckles.
The freckles were acting as if she was in a mocap suit. All the dots on her face.
It might be. Freckles are a dangerous thing to have, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. To be good at anything, you have to practice 10,000 hours. I love that. It's accurate, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of sweating. Sam is a massive sweater. There was a
He
lot.
could do it all day. He could do
There's
this
a
all
lot
day.
of sweating going on, but look, I mean, I've really enjoyed the series a lot. I mean,
I'm excited.
I'm still holding to that. I'm enjoying it in the end. Well, hopefully in the end, a little bit more than WandaVision. Not to take anything away from WandaVision, that was a fun series, but I've just enjoyed. This one has felt more MCU-esque to me than WandaVision did, but I know we're about to go into some heavy like wizardry and sorcerer type stuff. Even with Shang-Chi and obviously Doctor
Black Widow,
Strange. I mean, we're about to really
Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is in Spider-Man 3. So
yeah, and I've got to prepare myself for that because that's not necessarily my favorite.
And Eternals is going to be all metaphysical.
Yeah. We didn't even touch on the Alfred Molina news, but
oh gosh, Alfred Molina is not, like Tom Holland is doing cartwheels to get out because of Alfred Molina's big mouth. I mean, that dude's like, I didn't sign an NDA. I can say whatever I want to.
Alfred Molina.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, of course I'm Doc Ock in the next movie.
It takes place just right after the river moment.
Yeah. So dumb. Which makes
that's what he was told.
Which means I'm gonna have to go back and watch Spider-Man 2, but I mean, yeah. I don't know. Oh yeah, and Rhett's right.
Loki.
Yeah, Loki's gonna be crazy also.
Yes.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of that
Hugh
stuff.
Grant is in Loki, and that's gonna we don't even know who he plays yet.
Spoiler alert.
Hugh Grant is in Loki. We don't even know who he plays yet. So
Hugh Grant's in Loki?
Pretty sure. Let me see. Wait, let me check.
all I've seen is Owen Wilson. I didn't see Hugh Grant.
Well, you've heard it first.
Well, I heard it first here.
Folks.
Sorry, Richard E. Grant. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, that's cool. Hey, I like Richard E. Grant.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know he was in it. That's cool. Or maybe I did. It's like I didn't remember Awkwafina was in Shang-Chi. I'm sure I saw that because didn't they announce that casting at the shareholders meeting, the big one that they did? I think they showed a picture of Richard E. Grant.
They might have.
Yeah, I think I remember that now.
Yeah. Yeah, but we still don't know what role he's playing. A lot of people think he's playing an older Loki potentially, but but we'll see.
I don't know about
There's a lot of timeline stuff happening with Loki, so
right. Yeah, I figured that because they're doing like the DB Cooper thing with him. You could
see the splitting of the timelines at one point in the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh.
So something bad is happening.
I've got to pay attention to these trailers a little bit more than I do. I don't catch on to a lot of that stuff.
What is Red talking about?
Dude, Roth missed out tonight, man. He missed out.
Red's on fire. He's on fire.
He's on fire. Exactly. All right. Well, I am going to end the episode then and just say we're looking forward to the finale, of course. I'm staying up till 2 a.m. my time to watch it for sure. I'm doing it. Oh, I'm totally. I did it for
3 a.m. here.
It messed me up the next day, but I don't care. I'm doing it anyways. So
I don't think I could pull it.
Yeah, you guys are weak. No. Well, no, Garrison, I do give you a little bit of a break because Eastern time is like 3 a.m.
Yep.
And you're like, might as well not go to sleep after that.
I got college classes, 5 college classes to take care of.
Good gracious.
You can't do it.
No fun.
As your
All right. Well, let's
somebody your father's age. I prevent you from doing that.
There you go. Well, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheMichaelNip. Definitely hanging out on Letterboxd, talking about movies a lot. At the RetroZap Discord, I'm in there quite a bit on the Deucecast page and some of the other pages. Ryfin, where can people follow you?
You can find me on Twitter at SUPASH3 and on Letterboxd at GRyfin3. And occasionally I'll be in the RetroZap Discord talking.
Dr. Earl, I'll say it for you. You are off the grid. You do not want to be found. However,
Discord, baby.
You hang out in the RetroZap Discord from time to time, just to, talk some movies every once in a while. But spoiler alert, on the Deucecast movie show, we've got an episode with one Garrison Ryfin coming up this Wednesday.
Hey!
Oh.
So, yeah, exactly.
You made it out of the extra to the big times.
Yeah.
You made it out of the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're here on the main show.
Yeah,
so look forward to that.
Maybe I can do it twice.
Yeah, twice in a row.
Well, if you do good on this first one, we might let you back
we
in.
might let you back. Yeah, exactly. So look forward to that on the Deucecast movie show. Download that on Wednesday. It comes out every Wednesday morning. God willing, it comes out every Wednesday morning. As long as I make sure the episode's ready to go. David has to do the edit first, though, and then I make sure it gets posted and whatnot. But I appreciate everybody in the live chat that hung out. Rhett owned the chat as always. And thanks for stopping by for a second, Melissa and Craig, obviously, and Fetmatic, always with the intriguing thoughts. And he just drops them like the Dark Avengers thought. That was a good thought. I mean,
he drops it and then leaves.
Yeah, he drops that little thought in there and then leaves. So I appreciate that. So
may still be there. You don't know.
Yeah.
If you happen to watch this later, please feel free to put any comments you want to in the comment section. I'll try and respond if I can. But the biggest deal, obviously, with YouTube is subscribers. So if you could share the episode with your friends, get them to subscribe, that would help us out a lot. If we can get to 100 subscriptions, we can have our own YouTube URL. So that's the big that's the first goal. Is once you get to 100, you could do the Deucecast / or YouTube / the Deucecast or something. You can actually have your own
Mash
URL.
the button.
So let's try and get to 100. We'd love to be able to get to 100 at some point.
Subscribe,
mash the notification button, all that fun stuff. And
I'm sure we'll hit 100 pretty easily.
Fatmatic says he's always up at 3.
Oh, he's still here.
Oh, wow.
Boom. He's gonna
what's up with you, Garrison?
Exactly. So appreciate it. Garrison, thanks for hanging out. Dr. Earl, thanks for hanging out. Everybody have a great week, and we will see you here next Monday to talk about the season finale.